Why do I do this? Seriously, why do I do this? Today we're doing a 5K time trial. Basically what that means is I'm gonna run a 5K as fast as I can. However, it's not a race, and the reason for that is because there is no race. I'm literally just wanting to see where my fitness is at, because if you missed this video, I took 3 weeks off from running due to a hip injury, and then I've spent a couple of weeks building up, and I don't really know where my fitness is at. And that's the downside of running on heart rate, is it can be hard to know what that race effort is at. And that's why I regularly do have speed sessions, and I also aim to race anything between a 3K and a 10K every month to see where my fitness is at, to make sure that I'm improving, to make sure that I still know what race effort feels like. Yeah, just to get race experience.
I'm so tired. But I gotta get this 2 hours before I have my 5K or my race. So this is A, and then you pour B into A. The whole thing, right?
Yep.
Because I'm approximately like 1 dose, but you have to make sure that you know how much you weigh and then how much you need.
Makes to wait 5 minutes. It's like shake, just put on the lid and shake, I think.
Okay. And then
Yeah, that's more efficient. After 5 minutes.
After 5 minutes.
You've done it for like 10 seconds now.
Really? And I was gonna do no, but you don't understand. It's like gel. I'm not excited about drinking this whole thing.
Okay, good. That's good.
Cheers. Tart cherry juice. I don't like any juice though. It's good for my body. Good morning, Oscar.
Well,
Cheers. What we do for our health. It's time for the bicarb. I'm nervous. This does not seem like something I'm supposed to eat. Just FYI, this seems like something you would use for your bike. But half now and then half in 30 minutes just to see how it does on my stomach, since it's my first time using this. And that's also why this trial is going to be really good, because if this does not work for my stomach, am I really supposed to eat this? This is insane.
bon appetit.
It's just my average Nutella. The consistency freaks me out. It's like I'm taking a pill. The taste is actually not bad. I have this feeling like it's coming up.
What does it taste like?
It's sweet. It's like citrusy,
Yeah,
which is not mine.
that's my jam.
I want chocolate. That's why I don't like their gels. It's like this. Because he said I'm not supposed to chew them. You're making it so much worse.
Save the rest for later.
Tell me I'm eating this wrong. Or drinking. I don't even know what to say. On our way to the track, and I'm definitely nervous. But what I remind myself is that the nerves are a good thing, because they mean that I care. And that's what I get on every race. And it's just, again, a sign that I want to execute to the best of my ability. We're picking up a friend who's actually going to help pace me, which I'm still going to go out on my pace, but I'm going to have Oscar and him adjust the pace so that I'm not pulling the pace. So I think it's actually the first race ever where I have a back, so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes and how that feels.
Now I'm on my warm-up, and warming up as you probably all know, is super important. And especially if you're a marathon runner like myself, doing a 5K, it's extra important to warm up for a 5K because it is a shorter race and at a higher intensity. So you don't have those first miles or kilometers during the marathon, right, to get your body fully warmed up. So I spend at least 20 minutes, as long as it's not too hot out. If it's really hot out, then I'll decrease the amount of time I'm warming up. But the goal is to just not, run fast during the warm up, just run super slowly. I usually won't look at my heart rate because it is usually higher on race day. I know what like really easy pace feels like. I'm just getting the legs moving. And then I do a little bit of work at low threshold and a couple of strides before I start the race. And my goal for today is to really lean into what that 5K pace feels like. So whenever I race on feeling, not on heart rate and not on paces. And I know this is like really hard advice to give you guys because what does race pace feel like? I do know like a ballpark based on my speed sessions and my threshold sessions where I think I'll be around. So if I've looked through my data and I'm thinking that I'll be around 345 to 340 per K, but I might be slower. And my goal is on every race to race progressively faster, meaning negative splits. So for this race too, I'm really going to try and not start off too fast, which is so hard. It's actually the first goal I'll have with any athlete doing any race. It's just to practice racing with negative splits. And then today, it's especially hard to know what that race pace is going to be because it's been so long since I raced. It's been a very long time. I think the last race was that 10K, and when you're racing on fatigued legs, it just doesn't, like, everything feels tiresome, right? Even if you did an easy run, that would feel tiresome. The nice thing though about that is that when you then race and you're properly tapered, you feel amazing. And that's when the PR will happen. Not today. Today is just, again, to check where is that fitness at and get some experience with that 5K race pace and that negative split execution.
Dritbra jobba.
Vad du gör? Why do I do that? Seriously, why do I do this? Oh, shit. Just finished and I'm gonna do 20-minute cool down just super slowly. I feel like I executed the race well. I feel like I got into a really good rhythm. I felt super controlled the first 1 kilometer. I increased the pace the second kilometer. And I felt like I could hold that until the 3rd kilometer. And then I was going to increase the pace again. I think it's the nature of my training, which is very marathon specific. There are a lot of similarities between 5K training and marathon training, but I can just tell that once I go above threshold, I'm just like miserable. It feels like I'm like in perfect control. And then once I hit over that 186 heart rate, it just, I don't know, I just can't control anything. I'm such like a long distance runner pain. Oh my god, it's like every time I'm like, why do this? I really, really enjoy the training, but I really don't enjoy racing, to be honest. Maybe that will change when I get more used to racing. I don't know. I have a thought that I feel like a lot of other people can relate to, and that is this feeling of putting in so much work, trying to get faster, and then doing a race like I just did, and then not having PR. It's just so easy to feel like you're putting in that work for nothing. I at least always feel like this, and first of all, that's not true. It's not for nothing. Putting in all that work, whether it's not, having a PR on that race, you are still building the blocks for that PR in the future. And it's also about remembering that building process, that process of trying to improve yourself, that's really the fun part. Getting that PR, or whether it's some other form of metric that's improving, that's a bonus. That process of it not just working out, that's what makes that success feel so good. And that's also what teaches you what you're made of, that even when you have those setbacks, you keep going. And that quality that you're teaching yourself is just priceless. So yeah, keep going, even if you don't see progress, but also, it took me way too long before I reached out to the right team and had the right people help me. I was stuck for so long with 6 bone stress injuries and just struggling to run more without getting injured. And I'm so glad that I was like, this has to be something about my method, not about me. And I found the right people. And then I did start to see that progress. Not always, like you see. It's definitely not always progress, but in general, it's going up and down, but the trend is going up. So to sum up, I recommend racing anything from a 3K to a 10K every month or so. Not for a PR. You don't have to taper before every single race, but just to kind of see where your fitness is at, especially if you're training on heart rate like me. It's also just good to practice racing. And like I mentioned before, the key important thing to remember when it comes to racing is you want to dial in how that race pace should feel, and that comes with practice. And you can look at your data, so looking at your lactate threshold, looking at past races, and then you want to aim to get faster and faster, so the negative splits, the fastest at the end. And what typically happens, I see this with pretty much every athlete that comes to me, is that they'll start out in the race fast and then it will go slow and slower, and the opposite you want to happen. If you want to train like me on heart rate targets and on time, not on distance, anything between the 5K and the marathon, then I have training plans for you. So I have 5K plans, 10K plans, half marathon and marathon plans, and I have different levels depending on how many days per week you are at. So say you've been running 3 days per week and you're like, okay, I'm ready to run 4 days per week. Then you would look at my table at the 4 days per week, and then you would say, okay, I'm at about X minutes for my long run. And then you look at my plan and you see, okay, the 10K plan, that's about where my long run is at. And that seems to be the next progression. And I'm ready to do a 10K. So it just doesn't have to just be about which race distance you want to aim to do, but also like, where is your current fitness like? And it is now the 27th of June, and I'm actually flying back to Norway. So I'm super excited just to see friends and family. If you didn't know, I'm from also Norway, but I live in San Diego. And if you want to follow my journey, I'm aiming for the Olympics in 2028, then subscribe to my channel. I talk about all things heart rate and time on feet. And thank you so much for watching.